Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Good evening, dear Dhamma friends. Today I am going to talk about the way to reduce the stress in life as taught by the Noble Buddha. We can also refer to this Buddhist way for stress reduction. I will take some notes from Buddhist texts and share them with you. Therefore, kindly let me suggest them and please listen carefully. You may remember these methods and use them to solve your daily problems caused by the stress. The reason why I suggest this is because the Buddha teaching is not just for listening, but also for practice. Besides that, as the Buddhist follower, the Buddha teaching should be listened, analyzed, and followed. Only when we focus on what we should practice, the Buddha teachings will pass us. For example, a doctor tells the patients what to do and to avoid for the betterment of health. At the time, the clients must follow the doctor's suggestions by avoiding some foods and taking medicine regularly given by the doctors if he really wants to be free from a certain sickness. Unless he obey the suggestion of the doctor, it is impossible to get cured. In the same way, the Buddha teaching is for practice, not just to be listened to, recited, and to be forgotten. Some Buddhists study Buddhist texts and listen to many Dhamma talks, but they do not follow the Buddha's Dhamma, so they do not get good results. It is important to follow what the Buddha preached. This is the only way to get to understand the absolute truth. What is stress? Stress can come in many ways. Worrying about family, business, health, etc. can be cause stress. This stress is a universal problem. People from every country, every religion, every race have stress. Some people try to reduce it by forgetting, taking drugs, and many other means. At this point, people attempt to search for various bands. They try to discover various methods to win and control the worry. Does it really work? Often. But is that really a long-term solution? The answer is no. By doing so, they do not fully get good results. In the world, the ordinary people face stress, worry, and pressures. No matter how rich they are, how successful they get in business, how purpose life looks like, no one can deny the stress they experience. In the modern world, there is almost no one who is always happy. Here, someone might ask whether there is any ways to solve these problems from Buddhist perspective. Of course, we have. We cannot deny the mental problems, but we can reduce them. There are some ways to decrease the stress when we face them. The Buddhas who is a great teacher of cause and means, already pointed them out. We only need to practice and use it. You don't need to make so much effort to discover and repair, because amazing teaching of the Noble One is purpose, so that you no longer need to search for another method. If you don't believe it, you can do research on Buddhist texts on your own. The Buddha guided us to live the life in the best possible way. A person should be clever, skilled, and experienced in his work, his job, financial conditions. Actually, money always creates stress. The Buddha gives the solution for people to get away from stress stemmed from money. The Buddha advised to divide the income one earns into 4 portions and spend only 1 portion during the month in order to avoid encountering the stress of having no money, leading to the debt at the end of the month. He advised that one must spend 1 portion to invest and another portion to give away as dana as well. Also, after being successful in life, one must avoid being haughty and proud, as well as this is a reason to pay. So one should notice these important points. Being humble after being successful in life is a good thing. Sometimes one can experience failure, disharmony in marriage, business, and social community. Where? What happens? Stress. Of course, that begins to feel worry, anxieties, and pressures. In these situations, one should be intelligent to reduce the stress. These 4 pastors, being skillful in business, sharing well, being humble while being successful, and not being dispirited while failing, are the teaching to be convenient for people. The last 2 points are very important. Without the teaching of the Buddhas, it is not easy to reduce the stress. It is very difficult. So, we must reduce our stress with the teaching of the Buddha. People around the world inevitably experience this very often. For example, economic hardship can occur for us, and also we worry about our family and our health. By seeing many big hospitals being built around the world, you can estimate how many people are concerned about their health. For a person, facing sickness is one of the most difficult times. He has to worry about himself as well as his family. How can we reduce this stress inflicted by the illness of yourself or a family member? Many sutras were preached by the great Buddha focusing on these points. In the Abhidhamma, the stress is called soka. Soka in Pali means worry and stress from something we don't expect and need. Let's say we already know that something which we don't want will happen surely, but we don't have a chance to avoid or reject it. In this situation, we become stressed. So our human life is a vicious cycle of worries. This worry never ends. The Supreme Buddha focused on mind-centered teachings. Where did this worry come from? The Buddha approached these points and he pointed out the way to solve these problems by understanding our own mental state. We hear very often about disappointment taught by many people. Disappointment is the impurity of mind. People know how to clean and wash the dirty and physical body, but not the dirty and impure mind. They forget not only to wash, but also to understand the impurity of mind. The method for cleansing mental impurity can be found only in the great Buddha's teachings. The impurities of mind are worry, stress, mental unhappiness, and remorse. If we don't want mental sufferings, such as worry and stress, the first thing we must do is to find out the cause of sufferings. The Lord Buddha himself found out the cause of sufferings to eliminate and get rid of it. Finally, he found not only the cause of sufferings, but also the cessation of it and the way leading to that cessation. Now, the way to reduce your stress and worry is to practice the 4 foundations of mindfulness. People who practice it can get 7 benefits. The first benefit is the purifications from all defilements. The second benefit is overcoming sorrow and worry. The third benefit is overcoming lamentation. The fourth benefit is the cessation of physical suffering. The fifth benefit is the cessation of mental suffering. The sixth benefit is the attainment of samadhi, and the seventh benefit is the attainment of nibbana. Here, I'd like to share to you about a woman who got rid of sufferings by mindfulness meditations. At one time, when the Buddha was alive, there was a woman named Buddhasara. She is married and has 2 sons. They are young. One day, her husband died by snake bite. One of her sons is drowned, and the other son is killed by an eagle right in front of her eyes. The very same day, she gets to know her only remaining family, her elder brother and parents, have died from a fire. Unable to withstand the sorrow she has to face in just a few days, she goes completely mad. She runs around the town in utter despair that she does not even know that she has no clothes on her body. She is very lucky, though, that she gets to meet the Buddha. One important quality of the great Buddha is his immense kindness. The great Buddha speaks the kindest words to the grief-stricken Buddhasara. He said, "Dear sister, be mindful. Dear sister, be mindful." After hearing the Buddha's voice and kind words, she regained consciousness and covered herself up. The great Buddha continued to be kind to her as the noble one preaches the Dhammas and teaches her to meditate as well. She becomes a follower of the Buddha and continues to practice the meditation on mindfulness. At the end, all the sorrow, worry, and lamentation totally disappeared from her mind, and she became a new woman. From that time, she commanded to stop worrying by being mindful. By seeing the above story, we can understand how mindfulness meditation is helpful to reduce our stress. This teaching is very popular in Buddhism. By following these methods, many people, like Buddhasaras, have gotten peace. There are 4 types of categories in mindfulness meditations. They are mindfulness of bodily process, mindfulness of feeling or sensation, mindfulness of the mind, and mindfulness of principle or phenomena. Now, I will introduce the way to practice mindfulness meditation to you. In order to practice it, what you have to do is observe it as it really occurs. When our body feels hot, we should observe that feeling of heat as it is. When the body feels cold, we should observe it as cold. When we feel pain, we should observe it as it is, as pain. When we feel happy, we should watch that happiness as it is, as happiness. When we feel angry, we should observe that anger as it really is, as anger. When we feel sorry, we should be mindful of it as it is, as sorry. When we feel sad or disappointed, then we must be aware of our emotional state of sadness or disappointment as it is. In this way, we must observe each and every mental and physical process as it really occurs. If we observe as it really occurs, we will understand their true nature, and right understanding of their true nature will lead us to remove all our stress and sorrow. I hope all of you rightly understand what I talk about to a certain extent, which is one of the ways to reduce stress, as instructed by the Great Buddha. So please follow it as much as possible, especially in cultivating mindfulness in your daily activities. And may all of you attain the cessation of sufferings. Dear Dhamma friends, let me conclude my Dhamma sermon now. May the Noble Trimagem bless and protect all of you. May you be happy. May you be wealthy. May you be free from all kinds of suffering, including this COVID-19 pandemic.